guys want to talk about?
Let me talk to you.
Yeah!
Throwdown Nation, what is going on? We are live on a Monday evening. It is July 13th, 2026, and we are rolling on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. It is episode 249 of the Throwdown, the community on the interwebs where we celebrate the art and sport of professional wrestling with a strong focus on the indies. I'm your host, Matt, and today we are throwing down with a wrestler based out of the great state of West Virginia. Welcome with me, Bitter Brian Compton. How you doing?
Matt, what's good, man? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. I've been, like I said before we went live, man, I've been looking forward to this one. And for those of you watching live, let me direct your attention to the ticker that's running on the bottom of the screen. That contains all or at least most of Brian's social media accounts along with mine. So do us a favor, if you aren't following or subscribed, take the time and go to each of the platforms and do so. It definitely helps both of us. And before we get started, I also want to let everyone know if you have a question or comment, you can put it in the chat, or if you want to actually ask your question in person, scan the QR code that's in the upper right corner of the screen, and you'll actually be able to log in and come on the show and talk with us. The call-in feature is audio only, and all we ask is that you mute any background audio and be at least reasonably civil in your conversation. So we'll go ahead and start with the first and really the most obvious question, and that is, how long have you been wrestling?
It's kind of a tricky question, Matt. So I started training when I was 12, trained I don't know, probably close to a year. Went to Boogie some. A guy named Adorable Danny Ray trained me. Also in West Virginia, it's the guy that broke Jamie Noble into the business. I worked my first match when I was 13, 2002, and I worked all the way until I was almost 22. And then for some reason, I just never took another booking. It never went through my head that I quit, never anything. I just quit taking bookings. It was weird. And now I've been back for a year. So I guess if you could put that together, in ring, 8, 9 years, 10. But I've been around the business for almost 25. Like I said, I quit when I was 21, 22, and I still kept up with everything. All my friends, what's on TV, dirt sheets. I ran some shows. I still went to shows. I don't know, man. I guess I might have been burnt out. And the bitter thing, it's a gimmick, but I guess I probably was kind of bitter. The business took my childhood in a way. I'm sure we can get more into that later with another question if you want. I don't want to go on a big rant right off, but in ring, 10 years, been around for almost 25.
Gotcha. Glancing over at the Instagram chat, we've got a few people pulling in. TKO Dean, who actually is going to be on the show on Wednesday, is hanging out in the chat. He's a wrestler out of New York. Definitely excited to have him on in a couple of days. So, in the early stages of your wrestling training, what would you say was the most challenging aspect of professional wrestling for you to kind of wrap your mind and body around, and what would you say surprised you the most?
As a young teenager, the psychology part was probably the worst. I had some great people around me: Shane Matthews, Eric Darkstorm, JV Insanity, Danny Ray, Jamie Noble, Chance Prophet. I had a wealth of knowledge around me of some good guys that did it the right way. And what surprised me, I don't know, man. The whole thing, I guess it was kind of like a fever dream at first. I went from wrestling on a trampoline one week to being in front of people, a couple months or a year or so later. But I traveled that whole year and just took everything in I could. Surprised me. That's a hard question, man. The whole thing was surprising. I'm a small town in West Virginia. I didn't think I'd experience a lot of the stuff I got to, especially as a young kid.
Gotcha. Yeah, you were mentioning Chance Prophet. He was on the show, a couple months back now, and he's the one that actually put you on my radar. Man,
Same.
Chance is a good dude.
Great dude.
I really think the world of him.
Me too.
So, did you come to wrestling with a previous athletic background? I mean, I know you were 12 or 13 when you started wrestling training, but had you done other sports or any other type of martial arts?
Yeah, from the time I was 5, started with basketball, then it transferred to baseball, basketball. I boxed a little bit when I was like 12. And then I started skipping practice. I remember the first time I got caught by my parents or my mom, might have been my grandparents. I literally left baseball practice after they dropped me off and walked to the bus stop, and I rode a bus to go backyard wrestle, like 10 miles up the road, and got caught, and it was a big deal. So, yeah, I done got off. What was the question? I forgot. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, just had you done other sports?
All the sports, yeah.
Yeah.
So the last sport I played was 8th grade basketball, and I got kicked off that team for letting stink bombs off in the cafeteria.
Nice.
So after that, I think I was like, screw sports. I'm just gonna wrestle. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I'm presuming that you've been at least a fan of professional wrestling the majority of your life. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, the first memory is probably I vaguely remember seeing some magazines at my great grandma's. She was a big NWA fan.
Nice.
Then she found out it was a work, and she was totally against it and hated it.
Really?
Yeah, and like her later years, like the early 90s or mid 90s, especially I told her I started training, and she just, I used to believe in that stuff. But yeah, earliest memory, it's hard, man. I can't. It was either a house show in Huntington, West Virginia for WWF, or it was an indie show in Canova, West Virginia. They were close together. I just can't remember which one was first. But other than seeing the magazine, I went to one of those shows. My mom took me, and from there on, it was just all the time. That's all I watched.
Gotcha. So, obviously the physical side of this is all extremely important. And, this is an interesting question with you being, at least for the wrestling business, an older guy. Because I know that your training methodologies and everything evolve with age and such. But in your mind, what would be the most crucial exercise or group of exercises for you to keep in ring shape with, taking age and everything into account?
I'm not going to lie to you. In my teenage, which is probably one of my worst mistakes, from 13 to 22, I might have seen a gym twice a week, if that. Now that I'm older and I've came back, I tried to do it at first myself. But I finally hired a coach, Zach Harris, out in Nashville. Harris Fit Systems on Instagram, cheap plug. And he's helping me out a lot, man. He sends me all my workouts. He keeps me, he stays on me about my protein, my calories, my step count, and just being so busy, man. The internet, you see so much stuff. It's like, oh, take this, do this workout. Well, that's wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. But I sat back and I've seen results out of his programs through other guys. I've been with him for 5 weeks, and I can tell a major difference. I'm down like 20 to 30 pounds. But exercise, it's just really high impact for my cardio. You know, the medicine ball, 30 seconds, take a 20-second break, boom, boom, boom. But it's really hard. I don't know what's wrong right now. I've been talking it over with a few guys. My cardio's in the buckets right now. I don't know what happened. When I first came back, I was good, and then here the past like 2 or 3 months, I've had something going on, and I I think it might be gone now. This past week, I started to notice I could go a little bit more than I could. But I had there for a while. I had my cardio was just bad. It would just burn in my chest and my throat. And from having a heart attack 2 years ago, before I came back, I had a heart attack. And so anytime anything goes wrong with my chest, I freak out, and then that makes my breathing worse. And but just there's nothing like in ring cardio. I mean, and that's what I kept telling them. I was like, three times a week, I run at least 5 miles at the gym. 3 to 5 miles. But that, I mean, going, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. And then with my gimmick, I yell so much. I mean, the entire time I don't shut up. I just cry and, just old school heel stuff.
Yep.
So, I mean, in-ring cardio, there's nothing like it. It's hard. It's really hard, and it's especially when you're older.
Yep.
Sorry, I go on rants.
No, dude, this is great. I want to go ahead and go off on this tangent so that I don't forget it later. You are actually the second guest I've had on the show that is a heart attack survivor. So if you don't mind, tell us about the heart attack. What happened?
So my right coronary was 97% blocked. I've got a few theories. A doctor has told me off the record a theory, which has to do with COVID. I blame it on COVID in a different sense. They said we can't put this on paper, but don't be surprised in 10 years or whatever if they, come out like COVID caused heart attacks, which I've read up on studies, but it's the internet. You don't know if they're real, even though they're like Mayo Clinic. I mean, I trust Mayo Clinic, I guess, but it was a weird age range. It was like 26 to 34, that age range during or after COVID. Heart attacks were up like 47% or something.
Mm-hmm.
But before we went on air, I told you I used to stream video games during COVID, and I was making good money. So bad time in everybody's life, really. So I was sitting at this exact desk at a different house, 12, 15 hours a day, door dashing fast food, smoking cigarettes like a freight train, like an idiot. So that had a lot to do with it. But right before COVID, I tore my shoulder. That's still torn at a job. I was working at a steel mill. At least I think I finished tearing it. I think it's been slightly torn for years from wrestling. And I had this pain in my back. And I always explained it. If you were to stick a stake through my heart, it would come out where that pain was in my back. So when I tore my shoulder, they thought it was related to the shoulder injury. So they burned nerves off in my back. They injected me once a week with a bunch of stuff. I went to chiropractors. I went to massage therapists. And that pain never went away. And then I had my heart attack, and that pain went away. So there was signs. And 2 days before everything went crazy, I painted this wall behind me. And when I put the roller down, my right hand was real swollen. And at the time, I didn't know that was a sign, too. I was like, that's weird. But anyway, I sat at home for 3 days with chest pains. I've never had heartburn. I eat buffalo wings like they're going out of style. Still this day, I don't think I've ever had heartburn, but I did at the time. So I sat here for 3 days eating heartburn pills, drinking Pepto-Bismol, milk, and then it started creeping up in the back of my neck and my jaw and the back of my head. And I freaked out like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I called an ambulance. They put me in the ambulance, put me on EKG, told me I was fine. I was like, all right, I'll go back in my house then. Laid back down, and just every time I'd about fall asleep, it just felt like I was dying. Like I literally felt like my soul was leaving my body. It was the weirdest experience I've ever felt. It got to be about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I was like, man, screw it. I hopped in my truck, and that's when it just hit me. I mean, finally, at this point, I'm finally holding my chest, back of my arm. As soon as I read it on Google, I'm reading more symptoms. It's like if the back of your arm feels like an iron's laying on it, get to a doctor. About the time I read it, my arm lit up, my whole tricep.
Yep.
So I drove to one doctor, and the parking lot was already slam full. So I drive like 15 miles to another one, pull up, and they don't open for a half hour. I sit there and wait like an idiot. I should have just honked or something, but I didn't know. I never thought heart attack. It never crossed my mind really until, I mean, the arm thing kind of messed with me, but I still was like, man, I'm 34. I'm not having a heart attack. Like, no. As soon as that lady unlocked that door, I barged through and she said, damn, you're in a hurry, aren't you, honey? I was like, yeah, I've got the worst heartburn ever. It's been 3 days. Y'all got to do something. So they ran me through some tests. My EKG was fine. And she was like, I still want you to go. She's like, we can't do the blood here. I want you to go to the hospital and do blood work and get checked out. I think something's really going on. And I said, okay. She said, you want me to call an ambulance or you want to drive? I said, I'll drive. She said, okay. About that time, I stood up and I guess I dropped. And I woke up in the emergency room and it was a doctor and he was like, hey, buddy, we're giving you some morphine. We're going to take you upstairs. You got to have emergency surgery right now. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you're having a heart attack. I was like, oh, shit. He's like, we're going to go through your wrist and, see what's going on, and then we'll fix you up. So they put a stent in my right coronary, and I tell you what, I woke up the next morning and I felt so good. I wanted to run around the block. I wanted to run around the block. See, there were so many signs like I was talking about, like my right hand. Well, I was literally getting gassed, washing my hair in the shower for months and months and months and months, and I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, I'm just out of shape. I ain't been doing nothing. We've been locked down, COVID, blah, blah, blah. I've been on workers' comp. I haven't been working. I've just been sitting around the house. I'm just out of shape. So there was a lot of signs, but, kind of runs in my family. We don't go to doctors unless we absolutely have to.
Gotcha. Yeah, one of the reasons I was asking about that, aside from the fact that I've had another heart attack survivor on the show, is back in the day in a previous life, I used to be a firefighter paramedic, and cardiac cases were always some of my favorite calls to run. So anytime I hear a heart attack or anything like that, I want to know all the details.
Gotcha. So, yeah. I think we're good to go now.
Yeah. But like I said, I had another guy on the show a while back, a guy actually based here in Georgia by the name of Johnny Faith, and he's also a heart attack survivor. So it's just interesting hearing those types of stories,
Yeah.
So away from wrestling, what are some of your hobbies and interests? What do you like to do with whatever spare time you might happen to have?
Be a dad, man.
Yep.
And I'll take care of my grandma. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. And she's 80, getting ready to be 83, I think. What year? No, 82. She's got some bad lungs and stuff. So I moved. I lived in Kentucky for 6 or 7 years, and I moved back here about 4.5 years ago to take care of her. At least help. I mean, she's got sons and daughters too that pitch in. I was a wild child, man. My 20s were wild too, so I'm boring now. If I'm not wrestling, I don't leave my house unless it's for my kid or I'm making $1 or my grandma. Some family stuff or making $1. I don't really leave. I'm an old man. I got a bunch of shows I like to keep up on. And I'm going through my bachelor's, so I spend a lot of time doing some schoolwork from Full Sail. Shout out to Full Sail. So yeah, I'm pretty boring, but I mean, I like normal stuff: concerts, bowling. Swimming. My kid likes. We got a little place. It's called Camden Park. If you ever get a chance, look it up. It's a really old theme park. It's got, I think it's the last standing original wooden roller coaster or something. I think it's in the Guinness Book of World. Cool. I think it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's a dangerous place. You're tempting your life if you go there.
You probably have to sign all kinds of waivers.
I tell you what, when I was going to Boogie's every Sunday for a while, Jimmy Valiant's camp, we were coming somewhere through Virginia, and I seen a billboard for Camden Park, and at that time I was still like, if I seen a billboard 5 hours away from that place and drove up there to go, I would be so mad. It's more expensive to get in this little park. You can go to Kings Island for less money, I think, but it's a throwback. It's got like an Indian mound and just a bunch of old school rides. It's got a little bit of new school rides too, but he likes that. And but yeah, overall, man, just be a dad and just hang out with family and sit at the house.
How old is he?
He's 7. He'll be 8 in November.
Nice. I've got my son will be 17 in about 3 weeks.
Awesome.
And fixing to start his senior year in high school, so we're starting to, kind of figure out college. He's thinking pre-med at this point, so
awesome.
We'll see.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, he's a great kid. Getting amazing grades. He's a lacrosse player.
Awesome.
Man, he keeps us young and keeps us busy. So
that's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
So, we're mostly a wrestling-related show, obviously, but we do dabble a little bit into pop culture, and I'm always looking for recommendations. So you were mentioning there's some shows you like. So what are you watching or listening to anything really cool right now?
Yeah. So my top shows that are active on TV, I think they're in a break right now between seasons, but all the Chicago series. All of them. I've seen every episode. Awesome. Love them. Anything 50 Cent touches. Anything he touches is gold. Right now, Raising Kanan is in its last season. It's a spinoff from Power. Then they did the Tommy Egan spinoff, and then there's another spinoff coming that puts Tariq, the main character from Power's son, and Tommy Egan in a series together. I haven't really looked into it yet because it doesn't release for a few more months, I don't think. But 50 Cent is a genius.
Is Power good?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I know 50 Cent probably doesn't do everything himself completely. I mean, he might. I could be wrong. I mean, he might not write it word for word. So let's just say his team, anything they touch is gold. I mean, you don't have to be. Most of his stuff is related around hip hop and all that. But I mean, the stories are so good. You don't even have to be a hip hop fan to enjoy these stories. Like, they're amazing. I love it.
Gotcha.
Right now, I'm rewatching 24. I think the original season came out in 2001.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not even going to be ashamed to admit it. I've seen every episode of Grey's Anatomy. I love watching doctor stuff. Doctor stuff and crime and drama.
Yeah. Did you when it was on, did you watch House?
I watched a lot of it with my grandma. It was one of hers she liked when I was a teenager. I tried to sit down and watch it from episode 1 and go all the way through. I remember enjoying it, but I think something else might have came out. And then so I started watching it, and then by the time it was over, I was like, I just forgot about House. But now that you mentioned it, I'll probably add it to the list.
Yeah. My son and I have been watching this show on HBO Max called The Pit.
Love it.
Yeah. And, and I've been, he absolutely loves The Pit. And I keep telling him, you need to go back and start watching ER from back
Yep, I did that not too long ago. I didn't get all the way through it because it ran a while, I think. But
yeah, it did. But
I think I got through like 2 seasons before I switched to something else. But yeah, that's the OG doctor show for me anyway.
It is. ER came out about the same time I was going through paramedic school. So I mean, that was my jam.
Yeah, you were locked in.
Yep. So And again, just a reminder to anybody watching live, if you have questions or comments, you can either put them in the chat or scan the QR code in the upper right and actually come on the show and talk to us. But so what is your favorite thing about West Virginia?
I don't know, man. Younger me hated West Virginia. I tried to leave so many times. I would move for a couple months or a year or two, and then I'd come home to visit, and then I'd be stuck again for a few years. um, I mean, I'm not a big outdoorsy guy. I don't hate the outdoors, but I mean, it is beautiful. We got the New River Gorge, snowshoe. Uh, And then everybody here is just, other than, the people that went extreme on the opiates and all that good stuff. But, for the most part, people here are good people. A lot of people have your back, even if you wouldn't think they would. You might not even know them. If you need something, I think people here are really helpful. Love thy neighbor. And like Sean said, when them pepperoni rolls, you can't beat those, man. They're good. What up, Sean? Yeah,
That's
the pepperoni
awesome.
rolls are good. But yeah, it's just it's peaceful. When I was younger, I always like, man, I'm gonna move to Miami or Atlanta or Columbus or somewhere, L.A., New York. Get the hell out of here. And then I got out of here. I moved to South Florida, and I've been to the Carolinas. I've been to Tennessee. I've been to Georgia. I've been to Ohio. I've been to Kentucky, and this is home. It is home. It's really funny. So it sounds stupid, but my little town is the closest you can get to California and West Virginia. They call it the westernmost point. But like I can look out my kitchen window and I can see Kentucky and Ohio. I'm right here.
So you're at that little convergence point.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. So, they say that the best wrestling personas are usually kind of yourself turned up to 11. So tell us about in-ring bitter Brian Compton and kind of compare and contrast him with everyday you and kind of tell us how the persona has evolved over time. You had mentioned earlier that a lot of it had to do with your earlier days, so I'm curious to hear the story of bitter Brian Compton.
So the bitter thing's only been around for the last year. I started as the Yellow Jacket under a hood because I was so young. JV Insanity, shout out to him, gave me that gimmick. He was the one driving me to towns and stuff when I was young. He stole it from Lawler. His kid used it in Memphis. So I did that up until I took the hood off, and then they came up with the Brian Compton name, and then they started calling me West Virginia's most hated. And it really wasn't a gimmick, man. I burned a lot of bridges when I was younger. I was cocky. I was an asshole. And that this will feed into the bitter stuff. I'm bitter about myself and the business. But I came into it wrong. I mean, I came into it right, but I was stupid once I got my feet wet and I realized, hey, I can do this kind of good. At least a couple people tell me I can. So then it turned into, well, I want to live like Flair. Where's the girls? Where's the party? So instead of me going to all these towns, honing my craft, I wasn't cocky at all. Freddie Cornell. I had heat with him for years, I guess. We just squashed it not too long ago. I didn't even know we had heat, and we still had heat. No, but it's all good. Freddie is a great promoter from West Virginia. But I forgot where I was at. Oh, no, I really forgot where I was at. Where was I at? Do you know?
You were talking about being cocky in your younger days.
Yeah. Oh, I was looking. So instead of going to these towns to hone my craft, it turned into just, where's the girls? Where's the party? Let's get this match over with. Let's get some money and let's go have fun. And, like I said earlier, I never seen a gym, anything. So then you take a 10+ year break and you start seeing these people make it. And it's like, I'm not saying I could have ever made it, but if I'd have focused a little more on everything I should have, I might have had a chance. You see Ricochet go do what he's did all over the world. I wrestled him, and my buddy JV knows the exact number, but I'm going to say first 10 matches. I wrestled him in Evansville Coliseum. He 160 pounds soaking wet, big afro, him and Chuck Taylor were there. But then, and of course, when I was 15, it was still the Batistas and you didn't have your Bryan Danielsons and your, all that, Evan Bourne, all them, except for Jamie Ray, when they got the cruiserweights going. So you take that 10-year break and you sit back and you just watch everything and the business evolve, and you're like, damn, dude, if I'd have waited till I was 18, I'd have had a really good shot, I think. I'm convinced the bumps shortened my height, stunning my growth. I was taking all those bumps at 12, 13 when my body was still growing.
Yeah, and that can mess up the growth plates and everything else, so.
Hey, I appreciate that, Freddie. So I don't know. I'm nobody. I don't have a place to be bitter about a whole business, but I am. I never went to prom, never went to homecoming. We already talked. I quit playing sports. I quit hanging out with friends. Parents, when I was at late teens, that's when the opioid pandemic hit hard. So I stopped showing up at birthday parties and school activities and people's houses, and nobody seen me for weeks at a time. And so rumors started, oh, he's doing Oxycontin with everybody else, blah, 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 which I was no angel. I've partied, you know what I mean? But I've never been an addict. I'm not talking crap about addicts. I've got addicts all across my family. I got lucky. I don't have an addictive personality. You could lay, are we PG here?
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. You could lay some booger sugar on the desk right now.
Mm-hmm.
Since I've had a heart attack, I probably wouldn't touch it. Back in the, but back in the day, I could do it all weekend, wake up on Monday and not even think about it once. When other people are like, oh, we got to go get some or we can't get out of bed. Everybody's body reacts different. But, yeah, I mean, so I got mad because I feel like now that I look back, I'm like, I can't wait to see my kid, like, on a high school football field. Like, that was always my dream, was to play high school football. And then I got to that point, and then I was just like, I'm going to do this wrestling thing. I don't totally regret it. I've did some cool stuff. I've met some cool people. Met friends for life. The guy that broke me and Jamie in the business, he's like my dad. He's got me out of jail. He's fed me. He's saved me. There's a lot of drunk nights I'd call him, be talking stupid, and he'd just change the subject, talk me right out of whatever I was talking about. But yeah, so now, I mean, now I'm just, a big thing I say when I'm in the ring, I don't even want to be here. You know what I mean? Like, I play it off like I'm contracted to be there. But, there's a little spot in the back of my head that I really don't want to be there. I hate wrestling. I say in promos all the time, I hate it. I hate it because Ryan Johnson hates it because, like I said, I feel like it stole my childhood, at least my late childhood. But I love it so much at the same time. I mean, I still, even that 10, like I said, a 10+ year break, dude, I still, it's all I watched. It's all it's all I kept up with. I don't keep up with the NFL no more like when I was a kid, NBA, nothing. I keep up with one football team, and that's Marshall University. Go Herd. And that's it, So I guess I am kind of bitter now that I think about it. It's not a gimmick. I mean, I knew it wasn't an all gimmick, but yeah, it's a wild business, man. It's it'll steal your life, that's for sure.
Yep. Well, hey, maybe in a couple of years you can reinvent yourself and take on like an Adrian Street type gimmick, and you can be Sweet Brian Compton.
I don't think that's going to happen. I was actually, I've been a babyface once since I've been back, and it was awkward. I haven't been a babyface since I was like probably 15, and it
Wow.
just it felt so weird. It felt really weird.
Yeah, yeah. So at the time, you may not have, you may have been young enough that you really didn't know any better. But during your experiences where you got to wrestle Ricochet back in the day, at that point, did you know he was something special?
No, this was. I mean, I could. He was still athletic, and you could tell he could still do the crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
think he came. I think he came from a trampoline. I could be mistaken, but I
Mhm.
mean, it was like he was on a trampoline. I mean, if he wanted to, he didn't do nothing too crazy in our match because we were old school West Virginia wrestlers,
Right.
quote unquote. But it didn't take long. I mean,
Yep.
once he started going past Indiana and past Kentucky and getting into like the Northeast and all that, yeah, he was. You could tell he was doing something.
Yeah. So, if you can narrow it down, tell us about your favorite match that you've been a part of.
Man, I wish my memory didn't suck as bad as it does. Recently, I got to work at the Rock and Roll Express 2 nights in a row. That was really cool.
Nice.
That was really, really, really cool.
Yeah, I grew up on those guys, man.
So favorite, um, man, that's hard. Have a lot of favorites, man. I had a lot of fun in Kingsport, Tennessee with Tony Givens. His promotion's been under a few different banners. Now it's Innovate Wrestling. I had a lot of fun there. Um, One that sticks out to me is me and Chance Profit against a guy named Chris Vega and then our trainer, Danny Ray Nelson, adorable Danny Ray. Like I said, he's the one that trained Chance, Jamie Noble, me. Broke us in before we went off to seminars, and Jamie went off to the Malenkos and all that. That one really sticks out to me because we were all four in our little clique. There was a good crowd there that night. It was a good story. Tagging with Ricky Morton for the first time in Wayne, West Virginia against Chris Vega and a guy named Shane Matthews. I can't say enough good stuff about Shane Matthews. He's got heat with me right now, I think. But there's no heat on my end. But man, was he good. He probably still is if he'd lace him back up. He would spend a lot of time on the road with Tracy. Tracy spit. So man, so this one's my favorite because it's probably the most people I've wrestled in front of. Me and Tracy, I went on the road with Tracy for a little bit. We did a tag in Cleveland at some kind of festival. I don't know if it was a county festival or what. I can't remember. But there was, maybe exaggerating, 5,000 people. I could be exaggerating. It might have been more of 2,000. I don't know. But there was a sea of people. And just because of the atmosphere and the draw and the reactions to Tracy, and I'm right there beside him, they were reacting more to him than they were me. But I was, I'm his partner. They're reacting to me too.
Yeah, you're soaking it up, man.
Soaking it up. So yeah, I mean that's a lot of favorites. But there's not one. My first match will always be special. But there's not one that just like sticks me. I've had a lot of good memories.
Got you. So, you've been doing this long enough that I'm sure you've probably developed a laundry list of these, but what would you say is your biggest wrestling-related pet peeve?
in my older, I hate the shake hand thing. Some people might get hot at that. I've switched to knuckles. I mean, if you're an old school dude, I shake your hand, respect. You know what I'm saying? If you're just a
Yeah.
random, I mean, if you come up to me, it's not like I'm going to say no. Or if you come up with your hand out, I will shake your hand. I'm not saying that, but I don't make a point to go around and just shake everybody's hand. I do try to at least give everybody knuckles.
Yeah.
But these people that are going to get hot and they post statuses and this motherfucker didn't shake my hand. There's 42 people there. It's 11 o'clock at night. I just got done tearing down a ring. I got to get home to my kid. Like, sorry, I didn't shake your hand, brother. I mean, it's nothing. It's not that big of a deal, you know. And this conversation comes up all the time. I think I've seen three videos about the past week. I mean, you know, if you're gonna get hot about it, get hot, but it's not personal. You know, if I work at Home Depot, I don't shake everybody's hand before I leave.
Yeah.
You know, I understand. Yes, I understand. I was trained this way that it's the brotherhood and the mafia gimmick, and I get that. But the world's changed.
Yeah.
Stuff's moving faster. I'm a dad now. I'm not trying to shake everybody's hand and ask questions anymore and learn. I mean, I still want to learn. You learn something new every day.
Of course.
But, you know, so if you get hot, you get hot. But I mean, if you've been around a while and I know you have and you're good, I will shake your hand. Or if you come up to me and shake my hand, or if you're a personal friend, I'll shake your hand. But, you know, I don't want COVID or whatever China virus is coming next. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
There's stuff out there that Ajax won't take off.
Yeah, it's a whole new world, man. So that's a pet peeve. I don't have many pet peeves. A lot of people think I would probably say all the flippy floppy bullshit, but there's places for it, man. I mean, some people enjoy it. The famous saying, "There's different flavors of ice cream."
Yep.
You know, there's some stuff that I enjoy. Now, do I enjoy taking a Canadian destroyer off the top and immediately going to your feet? No. I mean, I'm not saying I've seen anybody do that, but it's just an example. You know, selling is still the art. Selling is still what kind of takes the people from the real world into this fantasy that they're watching, you know? If you don't sell, you're not going to get a reaction. And that's a funny thing. That's a funny thing, too, is people tell me, especially when I was younger, that I sold great. Boy, I need to be a babyface, and I've been a heel for 10 plus years or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I can't stand. Do your stuff, you know. Do a double moonsault into whatever, but sell your ribs, please, when you hit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, please register it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan? Is there a match or matches that are just near and dear to your heart that you find yourself circling back to from time to time?
See, this is a problem with me. So I have a famous saying. I don't remember last week, but I can tell you everything you want to know about third grade.
Yeah.
But there's two sides to that. Like, really, if you asked me what I was doing last Tuesday, it would take me way more than normal time to tell you, and I might not be right. But if you ask me Micah Bash's phone number, my third grade girlfriend, I can tell you. Nobody's had a house phone in 20 years. I still know her number. I still know all mine, you know. But, of course, we had to remember them back then. We didn't have the phones to save them in. Now I don't know anybody's number unless they're really close to me and, you know, I might need bailed out of jail or something. But that's my problem, especially when it comes to putting a match together in my head. You know, you might be one of these people. Hey, what happened in match 4, WrestleMania 5?
Yeah, I can't do that.
I've watched WrestleMania 5 100 times. I can't tell you the main event right off the top of my head. for some reason, I could when I was younger, but now I can't. I can't remember stuff like that. So it's made it really difficult to put matches together sometimes.
Gotcha.
And I'm not going to lie, I went off on another tangent and I forgot the question.
Oh, I was just asking.
The matches that stick out to me.
Yeah.
When Jamie Noble first won the Cruiserweight strap, that was really special to me, just seeing him in WWE in general and WCW. It was, hey, kid from West Virginia can make it. But they were in Huntington, which is 5 minutes from me. It's like the second or third biggest city in West Virginia. They were in Huntington on a house show the night before. And then they went to Columbus, King of the Ring, and he won the belt. And, me and Danny went, and we talked to him at the guardrail, and he didn't tell us he was going over. He might have told Danny. He didn't tell me, though. And then I remember sitting at the fire department in Chapmanville, West Virginia when he won it. And it was like, dude, like, it's awesome, They have enough faith in him. Of course, by then I was already in the business, so I knew, it's just a prop. But if they put it on you, they got some faith in you to do something,
Right.
So that match I really liked a lot. Savage Steamboat WrestleMania 3. I really liked it. The big one with Ricochet and Will Ospreay in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
In Japan. Them together, they're just magic. Even if you don't like that style, it's just wow.
Yeah, I mean, talk about chemistry. I mean, those two guys have it.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of the Tracy Smothers stuff, like I said, I can't name them off right off the top of my head. I don't know I don't know if it's CTE or what it is, but I just can't remember stuff. Anything the Rock and Roll Express touched, loved it. Chance Prophet versus AJ Styles in Inez, Kentucky in I don't remember what year it was, but it was early 2000s when AJ had the NWA belt. That was a really good match. I enjoyed a lot. I was there for that one. There's a lot. I'm sorry I can't give you more specific answers, man.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. When you were talking about stuff just now, you were mentioning Jamie Noble, and man, I had this memory of him back in WCW in that tag team with Evan Courageous, Noble and Courageous.
Yeah,
and that was a while back.
I tell you, I know now that Jamie again, his match with Bryan Danielson in Ring of Honor, his match with Austin Aries in Ring of Honor. There's one with Punk. I'm pretty sure it was really good. I like those matches a lot too.
Yeah, man, it's I was actually fortunate enough a while back to have Austin Aries on the show, and
really?
Man. You go dig through my YouTube, and or actually, I'll just send you a link later. But man, he was an interesting guy, and just getting to pick his brain was really pretty darn cool. So, and this is one of these questions that really the answer can change really almost moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day. But at this moment, in your opinion, who are the best male and best female wrestlers in the world? Who's the best man and who's the best woman going right now? It's tough.
That is rough. So I'm going to split it and turn it into two answers. I'm going to do TV and indies.
Okay.
I don't want to be biased because she's from West Virginia, but Micah out of West Virginia, Chance Prophet trained her. I like her matches a lot as far as indies go. And is it Anya Rune now? Is that her name?
Oh, yeah. Used to be Ericademia.
Yeah, I met her at WWE. I really like her. I like her gimmick a lot. She
Yeah.
does the anime thing really, really, really good. What's up, Daniel from UK? Um, Richard Holiday is just
Yeah.
money. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really deep dove into his matches, but I mean he's doing something right, isn't he?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
You
Yeah.
know,
Rumors are he's been signed, and it just
yeah.
hasn't been announced yet.
Well, I seen another thing that said it was a false rumor, and then the next day he did the boots at GCW, and then
Yeah.
he took the picture in front of the NXT coffee shop.
Yeah, I
So
saw that. I was like, "Yep."
he's working everybody, man. It's up in the
Yeah.
air. It's like, was he just doing that because of the rumors, even though they were false? Is he just trying to get more views,
Who knows?
or is he actually giving away the hint? Like, but that's the cool thing about this business, dude. You never know who's going to show up where.
Exactly.
But MJF on TV,
Oh yeah.
best wrestler in the world, I think. He's money. He's money. Girl on TV, I think it's Natty. If you're talking about work, work rate, I think it's Natty. I really do.
I wouldn't argue that.
She's phenomenal. I'm trying to get that invite, Natty, to the dungeon if you by chance see this.
Yep. So, you've been doing this long enough that I'm sure this applies to one degree or another. So I'll ask you what hurts right now.
My body?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Both labrums are tore, so they hurt every day, all day. My lower back's a little kinked up. That's about it.
So, over the time you've been doing this, what would you say is the worst bump that you have taken?
I haven't took anything too crazy, because most of my younger years I was around all the old school, 1985 West Virginia TV stuff. Brad Bradley, I don't guess the bump was bad, but the forearm to the bump was bad. Me and JV that I used to travel with, we went to IWA Mid-South for Ian Rotten for a tournament on July 4th or something. It was an all-day tournament. It was like 100 degrees in the building. Well, I'm like 13, 14 years old, still in the yellow jacket mask, and his partner Balls put me on the apron. Brad Bradley, which his name is, he's been in WWE, and he was in developmental for Jay Bradley is his name now, I think. He was in Deep South when they were developmental. He might have had a run in TNA too. He had a big run in OVW. But anyway, huge, jacked up monster, especially when you're 14 years old. And he forearmed me, and I went to like the third row.
Wow.
But injury-wise, it would be JV hit me with a chair once and split open the back of my head. I had all the way across. I had like 15 staples. Yeah, I've been lucky. I haven't really had any real bad bumps that really put me out for a while. A couple weeks ago, I did take a superplex, and it did something to my sciatic, and I couldn't walk for like 2 days. I had to go to the ER and get steroids shot in me, and then they gave me some steroids to bring home. And it took a couple of days to get control of my right leg back. But I've been lucky, man. And, of course, that big long break probably helped me too, because that's when the crazier bumps started coming into play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what you were talking about reminded me of that moment, a few years ago now, when Keith Lee yeeted Adam Cole about 3 rows into the stands. Man.
Yep.
Man, Adam Cole is somebody that man, that guy has just been snake bit with injuries and
Injuries.
concussions. Man, I just,
Yeah.
I love that guy, and man, I hope the best for him. I mean, I'm glad he's prioritizing his health.
Yeah.
And I mean, if this is the end of him in ring, man, it's been a good run. But I would love to see him get a healthy streak and be able to have one last run and then potentially call it a career.
Yeah, I've enjoyed a lot of his matches. I like Adam a lot.
So, kind of a hot take question here. Sami Zayn's world title run lasted a total of 9 days without a single successful defense. Do you think he should have gotten a longer run, or is his having been a transitional champion okay? I mean, to me, it felt like Sami deserved better.
So, of course, when it happened, I mean, I was immediately like, "Oh, okay. Well, what's next?" I mean, it sucks to say because he's put so much time in, he has so much
Right.
passion, he's so good. But as soon as it happened, my first thought was, "All right, what's going on here? Are they going to do something on Raw?" Like I knew just immediately, I knew it was a transition. I don't know
Yeah.
why they did it. I mean, I could ask questions and find out from Jamie. You can, if you ever talk to Jamie, you can ask him. I don't ever, not once have I ever asked him, "Hey, dude, what's going on Raw tonight?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
keep
yeah.
it a
I mean, I
surprise to
wouldn't.
me. Like,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I wouldn't want to know anything in advance, but
yeah. So
but retrospectively, it'd be interesting to know.
yeah. So I'm bad about saying this, and I've already said it a few times on here, but I'm a big 50-50 guy. Um,
Hmm.
50% of me is like, all right, yeah, it was fine. Because I mean, it got a lot of attention after Pump. It got a lot of clicks. It got a lot of views. I haven't
Yeah.
looked, but I'm sure it got more views than Sammy winning it.
Oh,
So
I'm sure it did. Because it's Punk.
I mean, a lot of people are like, writers this, writers that. I understand that. I think I would prefer it if it was just Triple H sitting at his kitchen table writing everything out.
Yeah.
But there's so much content they have to do now. I mean, it'd be impossible.
Yeah.
It'd be impossible
Yeah.
for even three people, like it was, Vince, Bruce, and Briscoe or Patterson. It would be impossible for those three to sit around and write all this content. You have to now.
Yep.
But they're doing something right. I mean, money doesn't lie.
No.
They are. You can hate them or love it. I don't love everything they do. I don't
No.
watch everything every week. I watch highlights on YouTube, and then if I see something cool, then I'll go watch it, and I'm like, okay. So I'm 50-50 on it, man. Was it right for business? Numbers probably say it was.
Yeah.
Was it right personally to Sammy after everything he's did and been through? And no, I personally,
Yeah.
I would have liked to see some kind of run out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. But but again, like you were saying, we don't know where all of this is headed either. So
Right. He could
yeah.
have it back in 3 months. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
you don't know.
Nope. So, knowing everything you know at this point in your life, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Wait till you're 18.
Yeah.
That's about it, man. Wait till you're 18 and don't try to live the rock star life. Keep paying attention, keep focused. Stay away from parties and girls.
Yeah. So, do you have any pre-show traditions? Any things that you try to do consistently before you walk through the curtain?
Nowadays, the main thing is stretch. When my ADHD doesn't keep me in a conversation until my music hits, just stretch. When I was younger, I'd listen to music and breathe and stretch. It hasn't changed that much, but the main thing's stretching because last thing I want to go out there and pull my quad or something. But there's a lot of times, like I said, in my ADHD, I'll talk until my music hits. I'm like, it's my turn, and then I go out there without stretching. And you can tell when you don't stretch. I mean, back when I early teen or late teens, early 20s, whatever. If I didn't stretch and went out there, I really couldn't tell. But now I can definitely tell if I'm a lot more sore if I don't stretch.
Got you. So something that we've done in all of these that's just been kind of fun is we've let the current guest pose a question for the next guest. So one of my recent guests is a wrestler based out of Northern California by the name of D-Rogue. And the question that he asked is, if your wrestling career was a movie, what movie would it be?
I don't know, man. That's Gone in 60 Seconds, maybe, because, one day I was working 4 and 5 days a week, and the next day I was at home for 10 years. A movie. What would my career be? Movie. Yeah, because up to this point, I'm only a year back in. If they don't know who I am or never heard of me, I like to tell people, I've only been around for the past year, so, it makes me look a little better. So I think I'll go with my previous longest stint, Gone in 60 Seconds.
Gotcha.
Because my last match is with an older guy named Tommy Gibson that I actually watched at the first indie show I ever went to. And I was like, oh, cool, I get to work Tommy finally, this is cool. And we were...
kind of a full circle moment.
Yeah, we were 45 seconds into the match, and he blew his back out. And he's like, all right, roll me up, kid. And I rolled him up. So 45 to 60 seconds. So Gone in 60 seconds, because I did that match. I went home, and I never took another booking for 10 years.
Wow. So, since this is part of a series, do you have a question that you would like to ask to the next guest? And it doesn't have to be particular to any particular person. Just
yeah. I hate to be this simple, but if both WWE and AEW called you right now, offered you the same money, same TV time, where would you go?
Ooh, that is a really good question. How would you answer that?
WWE. End all be all. No matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
ultimately, that's the goal.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks that they've had all the scandals and stuff the past few years and all that, but yeah, I mean, it's WWE. I mean, that's still my goal. I'll never make it there in a ring. We know that. I'm 37, getting ready to be 38 in February. I'll never make it there in the ring. But the goal is to get a job on a social media team or the production team. That's basically why I went after this bachelor's degree. Mm-hmm. So, that's the goal. And I've kind of got some help there with Jamie. I have put in some applications over the past year, and they got turned down when I had my associates. So I went back for my bachelor's. So if it doesn't work out with my bachelor's and I can't go there, I'm going to try to, stay in the sports world. I'm right here in West Virginia, so I can reach out to anybody in Cincinnati, Columbus, Pittsburgh, because I want to stay closer to here because my kid, because me and his mom aren't together. So you got to stay close to him, But
right.
If a big opportunity somewhere worth a lot of money pops up and, a couple hours away, further than Cincinnati or whatever, I mean, I would think about it as long as I could work it out with my kid,
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. So during his farewell tour, John Cena kept bringing up the concept of leaving wrestling better than he found it. And, that was a concept that sort of resonated with me. I just thought, well, what, kind of a cool thing to be striving for. So I've kind of incorporated that as one of my repertoire of questions. So what are you doing, if anything, to try to, eventually when your career is over, to leave wrestling better than you found it?
I just try to help the younger guys, man, and that's even when I was younger. I've always known I've never been anywhere real big, as far as TV or anything. I mean, I did some extra work during Cena's farewell tour. I mean, that's about the biggest, if you can call that big, that's the biggest thing I've did. Um, but I've always been good at making people look good. Um, so I've noticed since I've been back, shout out to Aftermath Pro in Cold Grove, Ohio, formerly known as Art of Grappling. When I first came back, Brock's Boulder was the first one to reach out and say, "Hey, man, if you need some ring time, we got a ring over here." Which I've been stupid. I don't take advantage of it as much as I should. I know, Brock's, if you're watching or watch this later. Um, they got a school with Bobby Blaze every Tuesday and Thursday. I don't take advantage of it being there as much as I should. But he started booking shows, and he was booking me with his Bobby's trainees, and 14-year-old, 15-year-old kids that I was in their shoes once. So he knew I could help him. And then I go to Beckley, West Virginia every Sunday for these little TV tapings. And when I first went there, and still I worked a kid yesterday. He's maybe been in business 7-8 months. I try to make him look as good as possible. So pass on the little knowledge that I have. Like I said before, some people say, I respect you, dude. You're blah, 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 blah. I know I'm nobody, but I do have a little experience. I've been around a lot of people that did stuff. And when it comes to being a young person in the business, I've been through it, from promoters trying to get pictures of you and, promise you with all this stuff. If you send them, a good old dick pic, sorry if that's not PG, but, I'll get you a TNA tryout if you send me this. No, you won't. I'm only 16. They're not going to use a 16-year-old. What do you, which I don't know if that still goes on. But I just try to tell them, like, save your bumps. You know what I mean? Save them, save them, save them, save them, save them. Especially
your bump card is only so big.
Yeah, and just save your bumps. Don't get in quicksand and feel like you're stuck one place. Don't let nobody. Unless they're paying you $500 plus a week. Don't let anybody tell you when and where you can work. Don't get manipulated. So overall, the answer to the question is just, I don't have a big enough impact to leave the business better as a whole, but I can help these young kids not make the same mistakes I did.
Gotcha. Well,
and I mean, my advice, if there's a 15-year-old watching this right now, study the business, go to shows, go to training, whatever, but don't bump your ass off for nothing.
Yep.
I remember when I first started training, which I think it was a test. I've never really asked him. So before we went to Adorable Danny Ray, we went to his name's Tyson Smith. He went by Rain and Vinny Viagra. He's had a lot of gimmicks. He's the one that first brought our little group to train. His dad had a gymnastics gym. And 2 or 3 sessions in, this guy named Big Daddy Gordy came to help, train. We didn't have a ring or nothing. We were just bumping on those little blue gymnastic mats. And this guy was 6'2" to 6'5", somewhere through there. I can't remember exactly how tall he was. And at the time, he was like 400 pounds or something. And, we were taking backdrops on a wooden floor just on those little blue mats from this 6-foot-plus guy. And he was launching us, dude. And like I said, it was probably a test just to see if we'd come back. But that couldn't have been good for any of us. We were all underage, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
At least 90% of us. Um, but yeah, I just don't take stupid bumps and basically wait till you're 18 to head dive into this business. It's hard, and I've already ran into people. There's a kid named Travis Durton from Ohio. Uh, he's great. He's good. He's been a year plus, I think, not long over a year, and he gets it. He really does, and that's what I tell him all the time. Just save your bump card. Don't do nothing stupid. Let your body finish growing. Which he's got a whole plan anyway. He's going to be a cop and all that too. So he's got another plan too to have backup. But
That's smart.
yeah, it's just don't make the same mistakes I did, and wait until you're done growing and done with school and making memories to just full fledged make a living if you want to try to make a living at this.
Absolutely. So we're pretty much at the end of things now. So do you have any upcoming shows or anything at all that you want to give some hype to?
Power Slam Pro Wrestling, Huntington, West Virginia, Christ Temple Church this Saturday, July 18th. It's actually Chance Profits promotion.
Nice.
And there's something special going on there, man. It's his church he's been going to, and he's a youth minister or a young teen or young adult minister there.
Yeah.
He's been going there for probably close to 20 years. And just when it comes to wrestling, the production, I'm sure you might have seen clips or pictures. The production is just fantastic. We haven't even got to see any of the footage that's shot yet, but I mean, they have the professional TV cameras. This church has everything, and Chance is putting a lot into it. That's Saturday, Huntington, West Virginia. But every show at the end they do like a sermon. He gets on and talks about God and everything else, and man, every show there's like three people that get saved and baptized.
Man,
And,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing, man. It's the crowd started as a few hardcore wrestling fans drizzled, but mainly the church community, and they weren't really wrestling fans, and you could tell. But every show, you can tell they're starting to pick it up, when to boo, when to cheer. Like they're starting to get invested in everything, and it's really cool to
Right.
see the transformation of it. And I'm really excited for that. Every Sunday, Beckley, or I think it's technically Bradley, West Virginia, Bradley Prosperity Fire Department, APW, do TV tapings there every Sunday, 7 o'clock. Check out APW Wrestling on Facebook. If you have to type it in, it's American Pro Wrestling. Ran by a guy named Joe Brody. He puts his all into it. It's independent wrestling business, and it's hard to draw these days sometimes. But he don't give up, man. He keeps on chucking. Check out Aftermath Pro on Facebook. Let me pull up my dates here. I know they got one coming up. I got August 30th is the next one. I thought they had one in July. But check out Aftermath Pro. Like I said, Bobby Blaze is the head trainer there. It's mostly student shows. They'll bring in a couple of seasoned guys to help the students and do matches with them. If they can't do student versus student, it's a great place. Elite Wrestling Alliance out of Kentucky, Richmond area. Man, check them out. Sorry, I'm putting everybody over.
Hey, that's what we're here for, man.
Appalachian Mountain Wrestling. They're in like the Harlan, Pikeville area of Kentucky. They have a show on YouTube every week. Nick Nemeth just had their belt for a few seconds since somebody cashed in on him. They're doing that Corbin Arena show. It's got all kinds of people. I think it's in August. The Good Brothers. I think Ricky Morton was on, but he had to back out because of NWA. Chris Masters. They've got all kinds of people. I can't remember off the top of my head who all is going to be there. But yeah, those are a lot of the shows I like. Big Time Wrestling. Freddie Cornell was in here earlier. Yeah, I put over him. That's one of my next shows. Uh, July 17th, Cabell County Fair in Barbersville, West Virginia. And then Power Slam Chance has another show in Milton, West Virginia on July 21st uh, at the Pumpkin. I think it's called the Pumpkin Festival. Or no, I'm wrong on that. July 17th is in Barbersville, West Virginia for the opening day of a baseball all-star tournament. And then Power Slam on July 21st is the Cabell County Fair. I got those two in reverse.
Nice.
But yeah, in Kentucky Championship Wrestling, August 8th, I got their production, their ring, their workers, everything is top notch there too. Check them out on all socials. Kentucky Championship Wrestling.
Nice. Well, as far as what we've got coming up on the Throwdown, tomorrow night, Tuesday, July 14th, 7 p.m. Eastern, we are reaching episode 250. And our guest is going to be an Ohio-based luchador, Noro Demora. He and I have had some chats on Instagram DM. It seems like a good dude, and I'm definitely looking forward to hearing his story. And then Wednesday, the 15th, 7 p.m. Eastern, we've got episode 251, and our guest is a wrestler based out of New York, TKO Dean. He's another one I've had some great conversations with on DM, and I'm definitely looking forward to hearing his story as well. And, man, I've got to thank you for your time. This has been an absolute blast.
Hey, man, no problem. I feel like we're just getting warmed up.
I know.
Just to throw another plug out there, that Noro, what'd you say, Noro Devoro?
Noro Demora.
Demora. I'm pretty sure that's the guy that was at the last Power Slam show for Chance Profit. I think he's kind of newer, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he wrestled Tyler Rossfield. If it's the same guy, he has a lot of potential, man. I'd probably be a good guest for you.
Very cool. Very cool. But for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. For those of you that'll be seeing this on replays and such, thank you for that. If you like what we've got going here, definitely do the old like, comment, share, and subscribe. And before we wrap this up, do you have any final words?
No, not really, man. I just appreciate it, and I wish we had some more time. And I just want to apologize for being so scatterbrained. I don't know what it is these days, but I just can't stay on track. But congratulations on your 250. That's awesome, man.
I appreciate it, man.
I tell myself, go ahead.
I was just going to say, man, this is a labor of love. I consider this my love letter to professional wrestling.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you reaching out and having me. And anytime you need me back, just holler.
Absolutely. And so until tomorrow night, with episode 250 with Noro Demora, be good to each other, love each other, and let's keep throwing down.